Hey Michael, how are you? How you doing? Thank you very much for allowing me to interview you here in our YouTube channel. We
Absolutely.
normally do topics related to dentistry. That's what our followers and our subscribers actually. That's the kind of content that they're looking for. But when we spoke a couple of weeks back, and you told me a little bit about what you were doing, it really sounded interesting. Knowing that not all the dentists out there are part of a DSO, but they still want to have some kind of savings. They want to try to have the
Yep.
potential for savings if needed. And that's kind of like what my basic understanding of what your company is all about. So to get
Right.
started, just tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me what a dental purchasing organization is all about. What is it that you do? How do you help people through it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dr. Miro, first off, thank you so much again for having me on. My name is Michael McCoy. I'm the owner of Dental Collective. So, like you said, it's a DPO or a dental purchasing organization. But a little bit about me. I'm based out of Boston, Massachusetts. I've been up here for about 10 years after going to the University of Central Florida. Um, I've worked in the dental industry for about 10 years now. I've always been on the sales side of things. I was a sales representative for Comet USA for about 7 years. And then I was a representative with Align Technologies for a little bit over two. So I definitely have some industry within the dental space. Outside of Dental Collective, um, I've got a beautiful little 1 year old daughter here
Wow.
in Boston. Been married to my wife for about 5 years now. And then I also own a second GPO. So when I'm not saving dental practices money on their supplies, I'm actually saving breweries money on their supplies.
Okay.
So outside of Dental Collective, I also own the Brewing Collective. So
Wow.
with the 1 year
That's
old and the two
interesting. That's
kids
very
going,
interesting.
yep.
That's new for me. Okay.
So I'll give you a little rundown of what a DPO is. So you've probably heard of it a few different ways. It's called a DPO. It's called a GPO, which is a group purchasing organization. Some people refer to it as a buying group. But
Okay.
essentially, what the businesses do and what Dental Collective does, it helps create, it helps leverage the purchasing power of a group of doctors in order to be able to obtain better pricing from companies through the collective buying power that the group creates. So, like what the heck does that mean? It's a lot of words. So, what that means from Dental Collective is this. So, I started this back in January. So, we have just about 50 dental practices that are underneath my umbrella as Dental Collective members. Because of those 50 members, we've created buying power. So, I've gone and negotiated better pricing for my members from I'm up to 24 different vendor partners in the industry. And they're offering my members anywhere from about 7 to 70% off of their products, services, technologies, or whatever it is, right?
Okay.
Because you're a part of Dental Collective, you're now viewed as one of 50 practices instead of one of one. So
That makes
essentially,
total sense.
because
Right.
you're part of the group, you get DSO like pricing,
Okay. Now, when it comes, I mean, for me, like I'm a small practice owner. It's
right?
me, myself, and I in my office. I don't have an associate or anything like that. So I'm a small practice, and obviously my buying potential is going to be way less than a practice just with two doctors, or
Right,
even more. Today you have offices that have 10 doctors. So my
right,
buying potential, and the owner of the practice with 10 doctors probably has 10 offices. So my
for
buying
sure.
potential obviously is limited. Now in this
Right,
area, right where I'm at, in the plaza that I'm at, I have two other colleagues, friends, dentists, that they also are solo practitioners in a
right.
small practice. I'm going to make sure that I talk to them this coming week to try to get them into your services, because my understanding now is you are trying to gather as many dental offices as you can in order for you to say, okay, now you go and you're the businessman. We're doing dentistry. We don't have the time
Right,
to do what you're doing. Is that
right.
the correct understanding? So you go out, you do business with these people, and you tell them,
Yep.
hey, I'm going to bring this group of dentists to become your clients. What better pricing can you give me for them? Is that kind of like the way that it
I
works?
mean, that's exactly it, right? Like part of this allows you to just focus on the clinical side of things and let me go and do all those negotiating for you. The other thing is, I really take my members' voice, right? So I do have these 24 vendor partners that cover literally everything from wall to wall within your practice. But I also want to know, like, what am I missing? What products, materials, technologies, services, softwares, what am I missing that's going to help you hit your goals within your practice? So
Right.
I really want to, yeah, the more members we have, the more negotiating power I have. So the better pricing I can get for the entire group. But really, this is all about just connecting dental practices with the right vendor partners. And these are all companies I've brought on that I absolutely believe in their quality. I think that they're going to help my vendor partners hit whatever goals they've set within their practices. And they're also willing to offer a really good member benefit in terms of some sort of discount or some other incentive for the practice.
Right.
And the other thing that you touched on is you talked about the size of your office, right? You're kind of a one man shop, which means your buying power is kind of
Limited.
limited,
Right.
right? But the beautiful thing about this program is that shouldn't matter, right? Like whether you have one operatory, you've got 15 operatories. There's a way to decrease your overhead costs, and this program is at such a low cost to join that it's almost impossible not to hit your ROI and save thousands and thousands of dollars for your practice, regardless of your size.
Okay. So I'm guessing, knowing the world, the globalized world that we have today, that you're not the only DPO out there. So how do how do you navigate through that process? You're not alone. You're in a competitive world. What makes
Yep.
you different from others?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. I'm definitely not smart enough to have come up with the first concept of the GPO. I might be the first one that's taken it from dental to brewing, but
Okay.
that's about it. But so I think what makes Dental Collective different is kind of my background and my experiences within the dental space. Like I said, I've been here for 10 years on that sales representative side of things. But in that time, I've supported hundreds, if not thousands, of dental practices across the country. And I started to realize what a lot of your pain points are and a lot of the struggles that you have in operating a dental practice on a daily basis, whether that be your overhead increasing, your reimbursement rates are decreasing, you're having staffing complications. I mean, you name it, right? There's all of these barriers and obstacles that you're being faced with. So I wanted to create a program that helps provide solutions to all of those things. And I think with my vendor partner portfolio, we're on a really good path to provide a solution for all of your major challenges and struggles. The second thing is I definitely take more of a consultative approach. And I think that goes back to how I was as a sales rep. I was very much that consultative type of sales rep that wanted to be a true partner to your team to help you, accomplish your goals, whatever that case may be. So for my members, I really do want to know about their practice. I want to know what their goals are. I want to know what pain points they're experiencing on a day-to-day basis so that I can kind of tailor this GPO and get you connected with the right vendor partners to help provide you with the solutions that you're looking for. And lastly, there are a lot of GPOs out there, and there's a lot of them that you could join and not even know you're a part of it. And if that's the case, it's not beneficial to you, it's not beneficial to the GPO, and it's not beneficial to the companies that are partnered with the GPO. So I'm going to do an onboarding call with all my members, and we're going to walk through all the vendor partners. We're going to talk about that member benefit. I just want to make sure at the end of the day, you are well aware of Dental Collective and what value it can bring to your practice specifically.
Well, from my standpoint, I want you to know, Michael, and I want everybody that's watching this video also know, like I said, I don't interview people that I don't know. This my
Right,
channel is not a commercial channel. We're not here. We don't charge to do this. We do it for free. We all our education. We have 110 videos, all educated videos. They're
right,
free for everybody to watch. So we're not, we're in the business of helping others. And
right,
I can tell you, I met you when you were in comedy. You were in
right.
industry. You were
Yep,
visiting. That's how I met you. That's how we became,
right,
acquainted. And I remember, like you saying, I remember you helping me try to navigate. Okay, which way do you want to go? How do you want to do it? So that tells me a lot, because I want people that are watching to know that that I know you from that aspect, and I feel comfortable interviewing you, because I see you as a good professional, a very honest person, And really, that's what dental offices need. They need the support of somebody because, like you said, we don't want to have to think about this. And if
Right.
and we need to trust the person that is, representing quote unquote us in front of these larger organizations in order for us to get the discounts. So I mean,
Absolutely.
I 100% get it. Do dental practices maintain their independence once they become part of your organization? Do they still get to manage, their own books and employees and decide what they want to do and what they want to buy and what they don't want to buy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You absolutely maintain your independence. You also have full flexibility and autonomy on what products and services you still bring into your practice, right?
Wow.
I don't I don't do anything except help you negotiate better prices and help you get connected with the top companies in the industry that are underneath my vendor portfolio. So you completely keep your independence, you keep your autonomy. And then on the vendor side of things, you can use whoever you want. It's your practice, right? All I'll say is that the more of my vendor partners that you do use in your practice, the more value you're going to get out of Dental Collective and that membership, and the more savings you're going to be able to bring to your practice.
Okay. So well, that's a good thing because again, as a small practice, the reason why I have a small practice is because it feels like I can run it better. Controlling the size, I have less
Right.
headaches. So in my mind, I don't. If I decide, I want to make sure that if I partner with somebody like your company, I want to make sure that I'm able to decide, exactly what I want to
Absolutely.
use. If this is the brand that I'm used to using, find me somebody that can sell me that product. That's literally
Yeah.
what many of people like myself are looking for, and that's
Yeah.
and that's the way it would be. Correct?
I mean, Dental Collective can be so customized to your practice. Like, if you just wanted to come in to improve your distribution costs, you can partner with my distributors, Dental City or Crazy Dental. If you just need a pair of loops, you can come in and utilize my relationship with Univet for loops. Or you want to add Overjet to your practice, you could just come in and do that and get your $1,500 implementation fee waived, right? So there's so many ways to make this work, and it's going to be different for every single practice, the mix that they're going to use, but that is entirely up to you. And if there's certain products and companies that you're just in love with that's not under my portfolio, please by all means keep using them.
So the purchases are done directly through Dental Collective. Is that how it works?
No, so there's actually two ways to order through these vendor partners, and I wanted to keep this kind of as simple as possible. So none of the orders are going to go through me. You're still there. Way number one, you're going to order directly through the companies like you do now. So how this works is when you go onto dental-collective.com and you join, I end up putting you on my member list. My member list gets distributed to all my vendor partners weekly. They'll tag you in their systems as a Dental Collective member. So the next time you go to place an order with them, or the first time you go to place an order with them, those discounts are automatically loaded, right? So imagine you use Comet USA for burrs. You use them on a Tuesday, right? On Wednesday you join. By Thursday, your price just got 30% better.
Wow.
It is that simple. The second thing that we can do for your pricing, or for your purchasing rather, is my friends over at Dental City. They created a procurement platform called Sherpa, which can be totally customized and tailored to your practice specifically. So all of my vendor partners, or most of them, will be loaded onto that Sherpa platform already. So all of those discount prices will already be shown. But if there's products outside of my vendor portfolio that you have to have in your practice and they're outside of our scope, we will add those products directly to your Sherpa site as well, so that you can actually go to one website. You or your ordering assistant can go to one website that's completely tailored to your practice and all the products that you purchase, and make all of your ordering there instead of going from, I imagine a lot of offices are going to 10 different websites to place their orders. So we can
Right.
create that in one website, and that is completely complementary to our offices.
And how about reps? Are there any reps involved with the companies? Do they have to come and visit you? How does that part work? Because normally, we're all used to the Henry Schein, the Pattersons that are,
Yeah,
they have the reps and you have to go through them and then they have to, see if they have it and then they come back to you. So it's like, you're hitting different people
right.
just to get an answer.
Yeah, I mean, so I what I want to do, because I'm not here to sell my vendor products my vendor partners products, right? I want to get you connected to the right companies that are going to do that for you. So the interaction is going to be through that company itself. I'm going to
Okay.
help make that connection or help guide you in certain areas based on what your pain points are within your practice. But at the end of the day, all of that's going to be done between you and, say, AMD lasers, or you and Kettenbach, or whatever product it is. You're going to go through that representative.
And just out of curiosity, if, obviously, if you feel comfortable, how much does it cost? I mean, how do you as a dentist decide? I want to join. Is there a different cost for smaller practices? Is it based on the number of doctors? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. So there is a cost. It's one flat rate too. So
Okay.
it's $70 a month, kind of regardless of the size of your practice, because $70 a month, if you break this down, it's $850 a year, which means that at about $2,500 in supply spend, just for instance, the savings from that covers your ROI. So for almost all dental practices out there, you're probably spending that in a month,
Yes.
right? So within 1 month, you're hitting your ROI. When we first started, we did give out some complimentary memberships. And what we found almost immediately is that those that were paid members saved so much more than those that were free members. And I think the concept behind that is there's no real accountability to the dental practice if it's a free membership. What's
Right.
kind of holding you accountable to use my vendor partners? So those that have paid are saving significantly more money, which is why we're doing a free membership, or a paid membership, because we want this to actually be impactful for your practice.
Now, is
The
that
next
is that paid membership? I'm sorry to interrupt. What you said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the next thing I was just going to say is that there's no obligations here. There's no contract you have to sign. So you're welcome to jump out at any time if you do not see the value. But what
Okay.
I'll say is, if you engage with my vendor partners, there is no way that you don't see the value. And there's like such an easy pathway to save you $10,000 in overhead costs this year alone.
Right, and
So,
and that's important because right now, I mean, and again, I put myself as an example as a small practice owner. Our biggest hurdle is overhead because we're such a
right,
small practice. You know, we don't
right,
we don't have room for more patients. We don't have room for another hygienist. We have certain limitations. And then, if you don't have buying power, you're going to buy products that are more expensive, at a higher cost. So
right.
so definitely, it makes sense. Now, how do you see are your other competitors also charging a fee? Is that the way that it just across the board everybody's charging a membership fee to get into one of these companies?
Yeah, it's becoming more commonplace for there to be a fee. I think at the beginning there was a few of my competitors that did offer a no fee membership, but it seems like that is kind of going away. And even those that started as a no fee membership are starting to add a fee for the membership. And like I said, it sounds super counterintuitive, but the reason why we're charging a membership is because it'll actually save you more based on what we've seen.
No, you know what? That you hit it right there on the point. I mean, people don't value the things that come for free. Now,
Right,
you're talking to the wrong person because I get a lot of people saying, "Hey, why do you have your YouTube channel for free?" Well,
right,
we had 9 million views last year. So
right.
in my
Yep,
particular case, it has worked well. We have people,
absolutely.
we have accomplished our goal of being the largest dental classroom in the world.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's awesome.
so I think that our plans are a little bit different. But so tell me a little bit about how do you see the future of Dental Collective? What do you see 5 years from now? What I mean, you're probably going to grow in exponentially in amount of members. But what do you see Dental Collective doing more for your members in the near future? Where do you see that going?
Oh, it's such a hard question, especially at the ground floor, right? Basically, when you start a new company, you're putting out kind of that minimum viable product, right? So what's like the basic form of this? And then from there, you kind of see where it goes and where it expands to. So it's still so new to see. I can just see so much potential already on how much I can save dental practices. But you're right, it's like what next? And I think there's going to be a pathway to get into some sort of educational channels as well. You know, I'm going to have a massive network behind me of companies that have a ton of speakers and KOLs that are going to want to help expand their brands, and I think there's going to be something there. I may end up doing hands-on courses with some of my partners in different parts of the country. And then, you know, personally, I, this collective thing I've got going on, right, between Dental Collective and the Brewing Collective. I think that this is just the beginning of a much larger organization, and hopefully I'll be able to save a ton of independent business owners money all across industries. But for my dental members, I mean, the vendor partners are only going to grow from here. Again, I really emphasize that word collective because I want this to be something that makes sense for everybody. I want everybody's opinions to be included in this. So I want to know where my members kind of want this to go. I want to know where my vendor partners want this to go, because I just want this to be something truly valuable for everybody that's involved in it.
Well, I think that you have a great idea. You're a enthusiastic young businessman, and I think that you're walking through the right path. Dentistry is a really good industry.
Yep.
There's a reason why banks say that less than 1% of dental loans go default. So that means a lot. This is a good industry.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that you're now in a way you will be part of Romero Dental Seminars once this video
Oh
goes
yeah.
live, and you'll
Yeah.
have people contact you through this conversation. What
Absolutely.
would you what would you recommend? What would be your advice to the dentists out there that are not in part of any other program? They're just buying
Yep.
directly through the regular
Yeah.
channels. What would be your advice for them?
Man, I mean, my advice, like my honest advice would be to send me a message and join tomorrow, right? There's just no reason that you are using the same product that your neighbor's using down the street, but because they're a part of a GPO, they're getting 30 to 40% off that same product. There's no reason. So join. Again, this is super customizable, right? I'll be as hands-on or as hands-off as you want me to be, but there are so many ways for me to save your practice from day one that, I mean, that's what you should do. Honestly, go onto my website, dental-collective.com, to the join now tab, and join. Again, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but at least we've tried.
Well, I want everybody to know, everybody that's listening, that we're going to have a link. You can also click the link right below the video in our comment area, so that they can go directly to your webpage and contact
Great.
you, through there. So I know that they're going to take
Great.
advantage of that. And the other thing that I wanted you to know is that what you're saying, every word makes all the sense in the world, because I've heard it from dentists. I mean, I'm a part of a study club here in Sarasota, Florida, and we meet once a month, and we're all talking about the same thing. Hey, everything is getting more expensive. I'm paying more for this. I'm paying
Right.
more for that. And we're still, small practices. And I promise you, Michael, that this coming Monday, I'm going to reach out to both of my friends in the plaza, that I know that they will, they'll find a lot of logic into the
Please.
reason why they would join something like this. I really want to, thank you for being part of our channel. We, like I said, we rarely interview people because our thing is, it's kind of hard to find people that really want to come on in camera and answer some questions. But the reason why I decided to do it with you is because I think that you have for me, this is something new also. I mean, I'm just learning through our
Right.
conversation right now, and I do need to take advantage of using Dental Collective, and I hope that this webinar helps other people understand, because again, I hear it all the time. We can't compete with them because there's 100,000 offices and we're only just one, and that
Right.
in a sense is what you're trying with companies like yours are trying to solve that main issue. Um,
Right.
Thank you very much for again being part of the channel, and we will have everybody knows that we will have a link below for them to contact you. I wish you the best. Please,
Thank you so
wish that
much.
you enjoy your baby this weekend, and again, thank you very much for your time. Okay.
1 years old in 3 weeks, so I
Oh my
will.
God.
But Dr. Romero, thank you so much. This was an absolute pleasure. I'm truly grateful. As a new business, I've been in the market for 3 months, so something like this is so important to me. So thank you so much.